Today I'd like to share a insight from a book from Rob Moore, which is Routine Equals Results. It's pretty good. I really enjoyed it, and I think it's, first of all, it's a very short book. It's only about 90 pages, but it's straight down to the point and to the important things. What I like that he's talking about routine and how important it is. He starts with the old story with the jar. When you got a big jar and you're gonna fill it up first with the big rocks, okay? Because the big rocks you wouldn't be able to put there later on if you would put first sand or pebbles in there. The big rocks supposed to represent your most important things in life, whether it's your family, your greatest passions, your values, your exercise, health, and so on. So that's the most important. It's the rocks going there first. Second one is pebbles, which are things that matter, but perhaps you might be able to live without them. And that could be your career or business. It could be house. It could be hobbies, friendships. I would actually say that for me, the business or the friendships would be certainly in the first area, but that's for everyone to decide. Number 3 is sand. So sand just represent the other things, so the material things like TV or car or admin tasks or non-essential shopping, online surfing, social media, and so on. And then you got the water, okay? So that's the last thing which you can put in a jar. And that is time drains, frustrations. It could be external demands from other people, which has nothing to do with you, and so on. So what is good that you put the rocks first, then the pebbles get in between the rocks, then the sand completely gets all over in between the rocks and pebbles, and then you can always top it up with water. But the water is really something where you don't want to have there too much of it. Ideally not sand either. Then he talks about life management and time management. He says the life management is the time management because time is time. You know, that just keeps ticking. You can't change anything about that, but you can have control and you can manage, for example, your energy, your emotions, your priorities, productivity. We can manage our day, we can manage our diary, we can manage our discipline, and what we do, what we delegate, what to defer, what to accept, and what to reject. So all these things we can really manage. So we are in control of quite a lot, and that's why it's called life management rather than time management. And then he talks about daily routine is basically a life planning book. This book, what he's got, and there's 5 ways to experience time. Okay, according to him, it's formula WISER, which means W for waste. Okay, so when we waste time with arguments, defensiveness, envy, needless spending, and so on. Next one is invest. This is very good one. This is where we get recurring, residual, passive benefit. So this is where you invest time into your family, or you let's say teaching your son, your daughter. So you're spending time with them, developing them, or you're really developing your business and all that. So you basically invest your time. And that time, or it will basically come back to you many times afterwards as well. So that's certainly time well spent. Then we go to S, which represents spend. So spend is some return, but not ongoing. So for example, that could be your job, your house, your DIY, and so on. So you get one-off benefit perhaps, but it's not something where you will see in the future more benefits out of this. And then for E stands for enjoy. So doing what you love. So you play, you travel, you create, you learn, and so on. So this is where you enjoy yourself. And then R stands for rest, so you're chilling, you know, but you could actually merge this resting with investing, because you could be planning, for example, on your holiday, you could be planning things for your future. But basically this is about recharging your body. Okay. What do we got next here? He talks about work guilt, that this is a condition in our society at the moment that for example, it drives perfectionism. Okay. It also brings low job satisfaction. It's pretty bad work-life balance. So people work unwillingly, not passionately, and they should not. And they basically they feel like they should be doing something, but not because they want to do that. And it obviously brings anxiety of what might happen rather than what is actually happening. Okay, so you have to be careful not to fall into that guilt, because it's only going to stop you. And then we have the main areas he's mentioning. This is very important. The main areas where he kind of breaks down the time spent on his business or job, or let's say career. That would be key result area. Okay, key RA. Another one is key life areas. So this is where is your most important areas in your life, which is family, and this could be obviously many other things, your friends and so on, but this is the key life areas. And then we got income generating tasks, which is the IGT, and all these free obviously represents where you're spending your time, and you better be really aware of this. He says an efficient and bespoke routine equals the very freedom and variety. So we need a structure to actually achieve that. He also talk about the self-employed people have no routine, because at least the people who are working for someone, they need to come to work from 9 to 5. Let's say they have that routine, they need to be there, and they work within that time. Whereas self-employed people, because they can wake up whenever they want, they can work whenever they want. There's no boss to tell them, there's no deadlines. Okay, so all these things, and therefore sometimes it's actually harder to manage yourself. There's also no mentor, no guide, no manager to look over you and so on. It's a good thing, but you need to make sure that you spending the right amount of time on important things, and you need to have certain routine, otherwise you fall into a trap. So basically a routine keeps us on a track. A routine blocks out all other times and task distractions, and the routine gives us a sense of safety, security and guidance throughout the day, and it reduces decision fatigue. This is very important. When you got the routine already set up for a week, for a month, or even a year, you don't need to think what I'm gonna do next. You have already blocked out certain times which you're gonna spend on your most important deep work, basically the work towards your main goal, towards your vision, where you want to get. So so the routines are freeing up your brain space to dream, to create fresh ideas, to solve problems, to do the deep work and to get results. So that's why it's so important to have that routine. And then he's talking about 21-day work log. So this is where you are tracking 21 days. Every half an hour you write what you're doing, and you just break it down into 3 different things. One is that I have worked. So it's W. Then you got R stands for rest, so I rested. And then you have S for socializing, so you socialize whether with your family or with your friends. And then this is a simple breakdown. You want to write few words next to it, what you worked on. So you put obviously W, and then you put I worked on, writing a few pages for a document, or For S, you can say I spend some time with my son, which is obviously you socialize with them or with your wife. And then R can be that I read the book or I watched the videos on YouTube or whatever it will be for you. So it just shows you where you're actually spending your time. So yeah, this would be just a very, very quick kind of summary of his book, Rob Moore. Results equals, routine equals results. Definitely suggested for everyone to take it, and I hope that was helpful.